Sergey Kovalez gets an 11th round knockout over undefeated Anthony Yarde to retain his 175-pound light heavyweight title. Tap in.
All right, I'm ready. They love when I was down, now they see I bounce back. Now they young and they feelings. My partner told me, King, don't worry about that. Said it's time to make a killing. It's a new day, getting new money, but I don't with new. I'm just sticking to the business and the money is the mission, about to stack it to the ceiling. Now they all in their feelings. So you mad, bro? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. So you mad? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. It's a new day. Now they all in their feelings. Money, but I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. Now they all in their feelings.
Right, fans, it's your boy King Boxing Talk. Checking back in with y'all, man. Just got done watching a great fight between Sergey Kovalez and Anthony Yarde. Kovalez, he defended his 175-pound WBO light heavyweight title with an 11th round knockout over the young up and coming Anthony Yarde. It was a great fight. First, just want to say hats off to Sergey Kovalez, 36 years old, still getting out here and jumping in the ring with some of the young, hungry lions. Gotta take my hat off to the guy. So, to get to the fight, you know, the difference maker in the fight is two things. The first thing was the jab of Sergey Kovalez. The jab, and then the conditioning of Anthony Yarde, lack thereof. So in the earlier rounds, watching the fight, Kovalez, he neutralized Anthony Yarde with his jab. He kept his jab out in his face, kept his jab out there. And, you know, Anthony Yarde, he looked a little flat-footed. His head was stationary. You know, he kept his head right in the middle for Kovalez to land the jab. And Anthony Yarde, he often had his hands down a lot as well. So he was getting hit with jab after jab. You know, Kovalez was throwing the jab, and sometimes he'd double up on the jab. And when a guy's getting his head snapped back from a jab, you know, you can tell that the fight isn't going to end well. If you're getting your head snapped back from a jab, fight's not even going to end well, because he's not even landing his straight right. He's not even throwing his straight right. He's not having to throw his straight right because he has so much success with his jab. And Anthony Yarde, you know, being a guy who's undefeated, I believe he was 18-0, 17 knockouts. He never had a fight past the 7th round. So, you know, everybody, of course, was going to question his conditioning. Is he going to be able to last long? Because he hasn't had a fight past the 7th round. Well, we wasn't even at the 7th round, and by the 5th round, you could tell he was already gassed. He was taking too many jabs. His movement was extra sleepy. That means slow. And he was taking so many jabs, and by the 5th round, he was no longer breathing through his nose. He was just breathing straight through his mouth. And you could tell when a guy's getting tired, you start seeing that heavy breathing through his mouth. And then later in the 6th round, he's still breathing through his mouth, and he ends up getting his mouthpiece knocked out. And, you know, of course, getting his mouthpiece knocked out, that was the result of being fatigued and breathing through his mouth. I don't know what it was after that 6th round. Maybe he caught a second wind. But he came out and he started doing something that he should have been doing in the fight, and he should have continued to do to the fight, which was go to the body of Sergey Kovalez. If you go back and watch the Andre Ward fight, when Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalez, it was body work. Sergey Kovalez cannot take the body work. He does not like being hit in the body. He folds. 7th round comes, like I said, I don't know, Anthony Yarde caught a second win, but he started going to the body. And when he started going to the body, notice how Kovalez wasn't throwing that jab the way he was in the earlier rounds. Kovalez instead of throwing that jab, he started folding up, trying to protect his body because he just can't deal with those body shots. Fast forward to the 8th round, the very next round, Anthony Yarde is still pouring it on. Body shot, downstairs, upstairs. And in the 8th round, I really thought Anthony Yarde was going to get Kovalev out of there. I was surprised. I was like, well, here comes the young bull. He survived the first 5 rounds of the fight. He's gotten a second win. Looks like he's about to stop Kovalev in this 8th round. Kovalev was hurt. He was obviously hurt in the 8th round. And, you know, the body shots, they took a lot out of Kovalev. However, Anthony Yarde could not finish him off in the 8th round. Kovalev saved by the bell. I think if he would have had maybe about 20 more seconds, he probably could have got him out of there. But with that being said, he was already fatigued by the 5th round. He was fatigued in the 6th round. He came back with a second win, 7th and 8th. And I think in the 7th and 8th, when he was able to pour it on Kovalev with the body shots, the hooks, I think that tired him out even more. Because by the time you get to the 9th and the 10th round, it was just all back downhill. In the 10th round, he barely survived the 10th round, saved by the bell. It was an onslaught of punches from Sergey Kovalev. And then, again, in the 11th round, it was a simple, stiff jab, what put Anthony Yarde down on the canvas. And by that time, he's just way too fatigued, and you can tell how fatigued he was. You know, a lot of people may look at that jab in the 11th round and be like, man, that wasn't even a hard punch. But when you go through rounds like that and you're not conditioned properly, that's a hard punch. You know, and it's going to take a whole lot to bounce back from that if you don't have the conditioning. And obviously he didn't. And it was a jab that got him out of there. So, but I do think Anthony Yarde, he has a lot to be proud of in this fight. A lot of people thought that this was going to be, you know, a one-sided fight with, Kovalev just, mopping the ring with him. But if you ask me, Anthony Yarde, to me, he proved that he definitely has the skill level to compete with the highest talent at the light heavyweight division. He has the skills. He has the skill set. He has the quickness. But what he's going to have to work on is his conditioning. And if you ask me, that was his downfall. He needs to work on his conditioning, and he needs to work on keeping his hands up. So, what's next for Sergey Kovalev? It looks like, I'm pretty sure Canelo Alvarez is just as happy about this win as Sergey Kovalev is, because obviously we know Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade at 160. He doesn't want to fight Triple G, not because he's scared of Triple G, just because it's pointless. He really doesn't like Triple G. He doesn't want to give Triple G another payday when Triple G hasn't done anything to earn it. But as far as, the other champions in the 160-pound division, he didn't want to get in there with Demetrius Andrade, And so instead of fighting Demetrius Andrade, Canelo Alvarez decided that he's going to wait around to the Sergey Kovalev and Anthony Yarde fight and see if, Kovalev can get the victory so that he can continue to pursue that fight at 175. Canelo's never fought at 175. He's only had one fight at 168. So he is going to be taking a big jump up to 175. But he understands, that Kovalev can't handle the body shots. And that is something that Canelo Alvarez is great at. So, it looks like we may see this fight soon. I know Canelo Alvarez, he wanted to get that fight in before the year is over with. Sergey Kovalev, he definitely has enough time to get in another training camp and get another fight in this year. The question is he going to want to do that? It will be a high payday for him. He is at the latter end of his career. I don't see him getting in the ring with some of the younger champions in his division at 175. So if you got to fight the younger champions in your division at 175 for less money, or fight a younger champion who's going to move up in weight and give you a huge, massive payday before you get ready to retire, then I'm pretty sure he's probably going to take that route and fight Canelo Alvarez. I don't think Sergey Kovalev wins that fight. I think Canelo Alvarez will get the stoppage. The accumulation of body shots is going to be way too much for Kovalev, and I think Canelo will get a stoppage midway through the fight. I don't even think the fight will go to the later rounds. I think it'll be like a mid-fight stoppage. So, but anyways, Sergey Kovalev retains his WBO 175-pound strap over the unbeaten Anthony Yarde, and so we'll see what he decides to do from here. But that's all I got for now. Until next time, KING, and I'm gone. So I want to say I appreciate you for checking out this video. If you like the content and you want to hear and see more content on this channel, then tap in. And when I say tap in, I mean hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications for all new videos that I drop on the channel. And the best way to really help the channel grow is hit the share button. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it with the people that you like to talk boxing with. We having healthy, respectable boxing conversations and debates on a daily. So just tap in, you know what I'm saying? And before I go, I want to shout out to the channels that I watch every single day. I watch a lot of channels and I listen to a lot of channels, but I want to shout out the guys that I watch and listen to every single day. So salute to them: Dante's Boxing Nation, Blue Blood Sports TV, Boxing Ego, Goodfellas Sports TV, Famous AAA. And again, tap in, KING, and I'm gone.